ಸುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಲು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಒತ್ತಿಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತೇನೋ ಅದು ಇದು ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ
Good morning, Sharan sir. Yes, sir.
नहीं सपर्णा, ये पूरा अच्छा सा है, नया फॉर्मेट, ये पूरा पब्लिसिटी हो रहा है। अच्छा लगा देख के। ओके, थैंक यू।
Good morning, sir. Sharan sir, good morning. Sharan sir. Good morning, Dr. May.
Good morning, Dr. Apana. Good morning, Dr. Sharan.
Good morning, Dr. May. How are you?
Good morning. Doing very well, thank you.
Good. Nice to see you.
Same here.
Looking good. How is your son?
He is actually playing in the house now.
Okay. You are calling. You are joining from home, huh?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, today must be holiday, huh? Weekend.
Yes, it's a weekend.
So 1 minute more to go.
How is the weather in Bangkok, Dr. May?
Oh, it's quite hot now and humid.
Okay.
What about your side in India?
Yeah, in different parts it is different. I am
Yeah.
in Bangalore. It is okay, pleasant, kind of. Slowly getting warmer.
Yeah. In north, it's very cold.
Oh,
So in
that's
different
nice.
part of India, it's completely different weather.
Yeah. Well, your country is huge, so.
Yes.
Oh, I see my another guru.
Hey.
Good morning, Guru.
Hey.
Tiku, Dr. Tiku.
Good. Nice to see. He is Guruji for many, eh? You are muted, Dr. Sab. Please unmute.
Good morning, I said. Nice to see you. See you all. Good morning. Where are you now?
Me?
Yeah.
Dr. Tiku, I'm in Bangkok.
Okay.
Tiku. Yeah.
Okay. So you are still posted there. Okay. Good.
Not yet go out from the continent.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. No, I thought posting is somewhere else, maybe in Holland or somewhere. No, you are posted in Bangkok only, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Or maybe Chiang Mai also.
It can be Chiang Mai or sometimes can be in
Yeah,
Netherlands.
she must be traveling all over, but based in Bangkok,
Yes.
which is home. Yeah. Good. Everybody, good morning. Yeah.
Yes, Sapan, I think we can start.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Aparna. Good afternoon, Dr. Kanokwan. Is it right? Did I spell it right? And good morning to all of us here in India. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct honor to introduce Dr. Kanokwan Chodchoey, the Group Head of Public and Regulatory Affairs at East West Seed Company. Before introducing Dr. Chodchoey, it's interesting to note the significance of her name. In Thai, Kanokwan translates to beautiful woman, signifying grace and elegance. It is derived from Kanak, meaning gold, and Wan, meaning color or tint. Additionally, the name Kanak with Indian origins symbolizes wealth, prosperity, purity, strength, and brilliance. It also represents spiritual enlightenment and is used in Buddhism to refer to an enlightened state of mind. That's about your name, Kanokwan. Dr. Chodchoey earned her PhD in biotechnology from Mahidol University in Bangkok, Thailand, and has since dedicated over 2 decades to advancing the seed industry. Her career began at Monsanto, where she led the quality function for the Asia Pacific region, setting new standards for excellence in seed production. As the executive director of the Asia Pacific Seed Alliance, she was instrumental in forging strong partnerships between public and private sectors, significantly impacting the seed supply chain across the region. As executive director of APSA, she was very much supportive of capacity building and seed industry training initiative of ATPBR and has participated in the discussions online in our annual 5F conference at Bhubaneswar during 2022. In her current role, Dr. Chodchoey leads key initiatives in stakeholder engagement, regulatory affairs, smallholder farmers through innovative seeds and sustainable agriculture practices has been a driving force in promoting global food security and rural prosperity. Among her many accomplishments, she has facilitated crucial partnerships through the University Connect program, initiated seed sector developments under the Mekong US partnership with USDA FAS, and contributed to pivotal research publications addressing seed legislation and the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on global supply chains. She has founded the APSA Young Club to foster networking among young professionals in the seed industry. Dr. Chodchoey also serves as a board member at the International Seed Federation and holds an executive committee position at the Thai Seed Trade Association, underscoring her leadership in the global seed industry. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kanokwan Chodchoey. Welcome, Dr. May. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharan, and you translate my name so correctly and so nicely. Thank you so much, and it actually is my honor to be invited to give the talk to ATPBR because I know that this organization is a non-profit organization and also aim for the capacity building. And I really like the mission of the organization very much, and especially Dr. Sharan is well-respected person, and together with Dr. Aparna. And so the topic today actually, it was started from a good discussion with Dr. Aparna, and we had a call, and then she said that, oh, you are now working at the regulatory affairs. So what is the role of the regulatory affairs? Why it is important for the organization? And so that's how I kind of like put everything in the nutshell in this presentation. However, the times also for everyone to ask some question if I can answer, or definitely I will do. Otherwise, I believe that there are some answers that I can keep, and then I can find other experts to share with you. So let's start the presentation. Okay. All right. So I believe most of everyone here, you work in the seed sector, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, that's great. That's the first good ground check. And so anyone of you here familiar with the term of regulatory affairs?
I don't know if there is anybody. Raise hand.
A little bit.
Little. Okay, so here we just would like to give, starting from a kind of a global overview on why seed is important when it's come to the global food chain, and also scope down a little bit on the key regulatory frameworks, and also that's linked with the why it's linked with the seed sector or seed industry and challenges that we are facing in the regulatory compliance, and how can we advocate together when we would like to change or monitor the development of the policy. And definitely a support from the Global Seed Network is crucial, and I will walk you through that. And then I will just link, also scope down for you what are the key priorities of the regulatory affairs in the seed industry. And then at the end, I will just show you some key examples of the policy reform that provide a term we say freedom to operate for the seed industry, and that's its mean would impact how we sustain the food security for the farmers and also for the consumers globally. Okay. So I just would like to start with this infographic. Anyone here has any clue what is this? This is the global food supply chain. It looks so complicated, right? And so what I put in the blue circle is the input part. And in the input part, of course, seed is part of that. And when we talk about the global food chain, you know, seed is accounted for 80% of the world foods. That the world food is produced from actually 64 crops, and this is according to the report from FAO. So main crops, of course, staple crops, rice and wheat, and all those things that you consume every day, right? And that's also include vegetables and also some earth and everything. And another 20%, of course, go to the fiber as well, okay, to the clothes and other stuff that is not food. And so if you look into the bottom of the picture, you can see that is the kind of an arrow move here and there, right, in and out. And that, of course, is a logistic. And logistic process is very crucial to help to move the food from right, seed to food, and you know, to feed and everything. And so you know that for example, if you really like some product, some imported product, it cannot be, you know, produced in one country, within one country, and finish processing everything in one country, right? It take an effort to do in one country, process in another country, and also trade, so in and out. So that's why this process is very important. And we see is very clear during, I think everyone learn a lot during COVID-19 how most of the countries suffer from the trade disruption, which relate to the food security. So after that, there are so many dialogue discussing on how can we reform and reshape, even in country, how can they sustain the food for their people. So after that, many trends, especially on the digitalization and many policy reform in the country, start, you know, emerge enormously. And so, as I said, so if the trade in everything go perfectly fine, right? We get enough seed supply. We don't get other factors to impact. Everyone can access to the food. We would not need to discuss about food security and how can we bring the innovation to help cope with this challenge, right? And this is the report from the Statista that I just checked from this website, and they rank kind of the percentage comparing globally, and the color indicate the percent difference between you know, country to country in the term of the food security. You can see that in India, of course, the population is very high among other countries in Asia. And you can see that India ranked a little bit lower than other countries in terms of the food security. And I think everyone here must have heard about Sustainable Development goals, right? By the UN, all the efforts, right? And so the goals has been monitored and tracked. The indicators have been monitored with the government under this initiative. And now we just only 5 years to meet 2030. And the report in 2022, FAO has shown the indicator on the zero to achieve zero hunger, right? And actually they summarize that none of us, none of the countries has made a good progress on this SDG. And so still, and they project that still 10 to 20 years more to achieve this together. So it means that there are still more room for us to work together, especially what can be an innovation that can bring the food to the hungers better. This is not only the breeding would help, but definitely along the chain, if we can work together to make the government really understand on the science-based policy, perhaps it how seed companies to make sure that we achieve this goal globally 5 years ahead from now. Another very important factor, I believe also, like now everyone greet you like, how is the weather? Just like Dr. Sharan also asked me, like, how is the weather in Thailand? And I asked him also, how is the weather in India? So I think everyone is aware that the trend is changed year by year. And for us as a human, right, we just, okay, we can put the air conditioner, we can do all kind of protections to survive, but that's not the case for the plants. So if you can see here, this is the statistic report from FAO, and FAO already shared that none of the countries show the trend that the temperature would decrease, but is in the opposite way, that the average of temperature increase is around 1 Celsius a year. And when it shifted like this, all of you here, I think, were familiar with the, the seed production or even growing the plants, and it would affect also the productivity of the plant, because the pests and the disease and new emerging of the pests impact a lot. And then that's how the policy need to come up to cope with this issue also from country to country. Here, I just, after we know the factor that we cannot control, which is the climate change, right? And also the global food security status right now. And so it means that everyone need to produce more, and also it means that produce more, make sure that the seeds also access to the farmers at the right time and the right window for the farmers to get their crops. So by the projection here, I just talk only for vegetable seed market, because I'm working in a in the vegetable seed company. So I kind of more familiarized with the trend than like in field crops. Okay. So in the CAGR from 22 to 28, it shows that it can go up to 10.3%. And this is the global vegetable seed market. And the highest number of the growth, I think you can guess in which region, in Asia Pacific, right? And mostly, of course, in India and China, that the trend would go quite high. The CAGR is in the range of 5 to 7% until 28. All right. So next, I just would like to scope down to how seed industry work. And I think that you are, I think the word that, or the term of the integrated seed company may resonate most of you here. So when we talk about the integrated seed companies, mean that the companies include all the processes into, under one entity or one company. So it means that start from the R&D, seed production, from the foundation seed, stock seed, seed production, seed processing, packing, and also commercialization. And so here, if you look into the process of the R&D, which is very crucial, and this process is the process for the future, actually, because they need to work so hard. They need to understand what is the value proposition of the variety that would meet the demand of the farmers, and they need to work very together and closely with the commercial team and marketing team also to understand the need of the consumer or the farmers. And this process is not easy. It's not it may start from like maybe, if I can give an example, it can be like 10 or 100 lines, and it would end up maybe 10 successful lines or even lower than that. And most of you are breeders. I think you know very well the impact of the breeders to the seed sector and even to the global food supply chain. And so if you look into the process here, there are already the intellectual properties right involved. There are seed quality standard involved to make sure that the companies produce seed under the quality management system, so that they can make sure that every pack that the farmers get at the shop, they should meet all the characteristics that the farmers see and expect from that variety, and should carry a good germination, good very high varietal purity that match with the variety that they put on the label. And all of this process, I would say that they're partially controlled also by the government, okay, especially when it's come into the market or commercialization part of the process. Okay, so when the seed is packed, okay, or even during the R&D process, when you look into that flow of the seed production, of how the seeds start from R&D to go to the commercialization part, everything cannot be done in one country. Okay, this can be, for example, the germplasm can be from other countries and then move to India, or India move germplasm from India move to other country, and then do the trial and do some selection and then export back or get produced in another country, and maybe once it's produced and harvested and go to processing another country, and then it's shipped again to pack and commercialize in another country. So you can see the complication here, right? Because we deal with how many countries just only in just to get one seed package, right? So that's how the regulatory framework start to play a role a lot for the planning, especially if you would need to move seeds from one country to another country that have a different requirement totally. So how can you cope with that to ensure that the plan is not interrupted during the process? Because it means that you may miss the window, or you may miss the time to produce the seeds for the farmers, and farmers they cannot wait to get, they cannot wait until your seeds arrive especially in the window that they cannot produce a good productivity of that crop, right? So somehow it can miss out the opportunity of 1 year, and it's generate a loss already. And so what I'm talking now is we use the term as the formal seed sector. So it's linked with the certified seed, right? And the seed that we know the quality of the seeds. And so the key elements or key factors that every seed company who produce seed need to keep in mind is the first thing is that the quality. So when we talk about quality, we translate into percent germination, genetic purity, percent physical purity, and also the seed has to be free from harmful diseases. And this is harmful diseases is very important because this means that each country they have a different list of the quarantine pests that you really need to understand. So in order to commercialize not only in your country but to be able to export the seeds, that's how you need to check also how other countries list the quarantine pest, so that you can move the seed at complying with their requirement. And another side of the expectation from the farmers, or this is I would say for me, I see this as a value proposition, or the value that the company can play with these elements or these factors in order to be more competitive with other seed companies as well. And that's nothing wrong, right? The most benefit that would get from this, it would go to farmers anyway, right? If the seed companies keep competing in developing a better variety with a good seed resistant or resistant to abiotic stress, have a better color, the better nutrition values and storability. And so in this side, I would say that is an innovative part of the company that they need to invest into it to make sure that they are that they make the right choice for the farmers. Okay, so I would just keep the same aspects from the previous slide, but I just would like to share you more when we talk about the quality aspects, and also even in the value propositions that we would like to bring in the variety to the farmers. What would be the landscape of the regulatory that we need to aware of, right? So start from the germination, genetic purity and physical purity. Here, first, you need to check the minimum requirement of the government. What is the requirement for the percentage of the germination of that crop? Again, this is different country by country, and that's why the quality system of the company, they need to make sure that they deliver quality of the seeds higher than the minimum requirement of the government, so that they can make sure that the quality stay during the storage period at the shop, and still get the monument. They don't have like a seed law like that. For example, in Australia, they don't require that seed law put the percentage minimum requirement, but they refer to what you put in the label as the percent. This is not only on the package itself, but when you do the variety registration, you also need to, most countries require that you need to put the percentage of your specification or the germination also when you do the variety registration. Though this process is not a mandatory for every country to do, but so you need to check again if you would like to export or expand your market into another country. You need to check first whether or not variety registration is a mandatory requirement, or is this a voluntary scheme for the company to comply. And move into the innovative solutions. This part pretty much depending on the company, but in one part that is very important, which is access and benefit sharing. Especially, I think most of you, most of the breeders in India, you are aware a lot in this process that it is very important when you would like to use the germplasm from India. And when you put into your materials or in your variety and you would like to export out, what do you need to check under the NBA, under National Biodiversity Act, right? And so you need to make sure you comply with that first. And that's even not yet in the part of the commercialization. Just only you would like to access to the germplasm. You first need to understand this law in every country. And once you get what you want in your variety, now, you know that I just put that it takes 10 to 15 years, right? Depending on the technology you use and also how skillful your breeders are in the company, and the investment along the year is through the trials, to the software or the program that they use. So the breeder should be able to cover or get a good return on investment, cover their discovery, right, of the new variety, so that they are able to sustain that program and keep breeding new varieties for the farmers. And that's why this part is very crucial, that each company set their own scheme or strategy to make sure that they protect their intellectual property For the variety of for the plant, of course, we use plant variety protection as a tool, and also you can use trademark. Patent also available, but it's not actually from the view of the global seed network. We still see more. I would say that more favorable tool as the plant variety protection or PVP rather than the patent, because PVP is still help to facilitate or put the alternative for the breeders to keep breeding the variety, though it's PVP protected, but the variety has to be distinguishable from the variety that is protected. So that's how you can keep work on a better or improving a new variety from the work that other breeders have already protect their intellectual property. And moving beyond that, beyond the work of breeders, there are also the work of the seed technologist. Okay, here not only variety has to be good itself, but once the seeds go into the soil, there are also a technology in the seed treatment that can protect the seed during the germination or emerging stage, which is very crucial for the plants to be able to stay strong, right, or perform their potential of their variety during the unpredictable circumstance or the climate change or the condition. So seed treatment play a crucial role in this. And in here again, unfortunately, the law of the seed treatment is somehow under a separate division of the government in most countries. So again, you need to check with the supplier of the seed treatment if you were to use that chemical. And another complication is that when you use the chemical to treat, and it is allowed in one country, but if you want to treat for another destination or more than one destination, you need to also check at the destination country whether or not it is allowed that you can use that seed treatment. For example, Thailand is banned in Europe. And then now, if you would like to cope with this situation, what is your solution to use instead of Thailand, and whether or not it is allowed in the country, and whether or not you treat with this chemical and is allowed also in the destination. Now, I think if you follow what I say here, just only 2 boxes, you start to see how regulatory play a lot of things in your decision already, right? And it is very crucial for the company to plan well along this line. And then the last part that I put, this is the most complicated part, and that most of us so struggling. Okay, it is market access to carry all aspects that we have good quality aspects. We put a good innovative solutions in the seed. And now we would like to bring these innovative solutions to the farmer, right? If you do that only in country, if you produce and you do everything only in one country, is not so complicated, right? But then once you would like to do this, you would like to carry this, would like to send to another market or another country, you now face another difficulty, which is different in terms of the plant quarantine requirement or import regulation of the destinations. And somehow, another complication is the re-export process, that you move the seed into, for example, from seed is produced in India, you want to move to Thailand for some processing, and eventually you would like to sell this product into the country, for example, in another region, perhaps maybe in Latin America or even in Africa. How can you be able to predict the regulatory or the requirement from the first country to the last country? And somehow, if you would like to change again your destination, what would be the impact if you cannot fulfill the requirement from the beginning? Okay, so this is already a lot for you to consider in terms of the regulatory frameworks for the seed movement. And on top of that, luckily that I do not see yet in most of the countries in Asia Pacific when we talk about the non-tariff barrier. But I see the case, like for example, the war in Russia, you already see that. But the recent case happened between Malawi and Tanzania in corn. But luckily, the government between two countries could fix the policy within just 1 month, so the impact was not huge. Otherwise, that time was already in the window that the farmers need wheat and corn seeds also. You can also check on the internet. This already published on the internet about the trade ban between Tanzania and also in Malawi. So more and more of this is going to the unpredictable trend of the regulations, right? If you follow me from the first block until the seed trade or seed movement box. So that's how, someone need to guide, right, in the company, give an overview also. Okay, if you want to do this, what would be the impact, and how can you be smart in setting the strategy to make sure that everything goes smooth from A, B, and C, and so you can be able to move seed or sell seed or commercialize in the predictable way. Okay. Next, okay, if you don't know how, or like for example, how you would like to advocate with the national government, and you know that you are struggling from even to understand the quality specification and all those things, right, or the seed certification system. So here I summarize in the key international organization framework that, for example, once it is very clear that, for example, once the member country or the country decide to be the member of these organizations, at least you can predict or you can presume that that country may start to change their policy or regulation to conform with the decision that has been made in that forum. Like for example, in ISTA is quite straightforward. ISTA is more like a lab testing, right? But another part of the thing, which is innovative solution side that I framed here, is on the access and benefit sharing. Now you hear about the digital sequence information. This is a new development, right? So this is something that you need to still monitor what would be the movement of the government if they already make this decision at during their meeting, right? In COP meeting, for example. And here are so these are the organization, like for example, ATPBR. I think here most bidders in India is familiar with this scheme because it's linked with the NBA, and also CBD play another role in the biotech area, like Katakina protocol. And if it's go into the area of the IP or plant variety protection, so IP, of course, you can see so many resources in WIPO, and also many resources about plant variety protection scheme from UBOF. Though I think not so many countries in Asia Pacific, they subscribe or they are a member of UBOF yet, but definitely most countries, they already adopt or at least the sui generis law of the plant variety protection already conform or similar to what is put under UBOF Convention version 1991. So at least somehow you can at least you know that, for example, the scope of protection, what would be the scope of protection if you work in the countries that UBOF members, or even they are not non-UBOF member, because most of country actually they've already put the period of 20 years for vegetables and for corn, for example. That's how you can start to familiarize with the international regulatory framework when it's come into the monitoring of the regulatory development in the country or in the different countries as well. So you can start from understanding these international organizations. For the market access, this is a very important because for for market access, actually, not only seed as a commodity is counted in the international trade, right? So we are maybe small part that we play, but our role is very crucial. So of course, the channel that we need to really understand on the regulatory change or monitor the requirement change. Of course, you can subscribe to WTO. And actually, I put here for most of you who are not familiar with the notification system of the WTO. I just put the link here. It's called EPING. So in EPING, for example, all the WTO members, if they change or they would like to put the draft or revise some import requirements, the country need to submit the notification to WTO so that the WTO members can put their consultation or and can put their comments also through your drafts of the country if you would like to change something. So that's very good resource for I think everyone of us who work in the seed industry to really understand the development globally through the WTO notification or EPING system. And another very important body is IPPC, is International Plant Protection Commission. So IPPC is the international level, while they actually their work is just to put the phytosanitary measurement, phytosanitary measure standard, or ISPM, international standards for phytosanitary measures. So in ISPM, there are also key ISPMs that link directly with seed movement, which is number 38. And also right now, we emphasize a lot in ISPM number 45. Why? Because we want the government to acknowledge or trust our process, that they can give the accreditation to delegate some part of work for the phytosanitary measures to the private sector or private entities. So this one is becoming very important, ISPM are important to still advocate with the local government to work on this scheme. Okay. All right. So when we talk, you now understand where are the resources, how can you be more proactive in understanding the landscape, right? But this is from my experience and plus the experience of the international organizations in seed network. So this is the kind of the challenges that we face. This not just this collect from through the seed associations when they ask the members what are the key challenges, right, when we deal with this. And you already see when I talk about non-science-based approach, you know what, there was a study that we actually at ISF level for the row crop size of the market, and the report showed that, you know, how many percent of the import requirement, seed import requirement is science-based? Anyone can guess? At least we know that genome editing policy is, you know, maybe 30%, 50% science-based policy, right? But can anyone of you can guess how many percent of the countries that adopt science-based policy when it's come to seed movement?
Maybe 10%, Dr. May.
Very optimistic. The report showed that is 0%.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was overestimating.
Yeah, 0%? So the study already has shown by the International Seed Federation. They run all the global quarantine pest requirement of most of the countries in the world, and they found that 80% of the pests are actually non-seed transmitted, or seed is not a pathway. Okay, and that's how we say that, well, we still need to advocate more, at least do more together, provide better tools for the government to understand. And another case that I found just recently, we had a discussion with the DOA in Thailand, and then I realized that the role of the university is becoming very important when it comes to the research on the pets, right? Anyone here as a researcher who does not like to be a first report? For the scientist, you want to be the one to do the first report on the pest, right?
Yes.
Yes, but once you put the first report on the pest, it can generate also a big impact in your country, right? Because it's got recorded under EPO, right? And your country, and then once it's alert and on EPO database, then other countries start to put a measure against your country because it's already no more country fee form in your country, right? So
yeah, this is this particular topic is a very, very sensitive, very impactful area. Many
yes.
of the times people do not wish to report because of the trade impact or because of fear of losing the currency what they're going to lose, and also they are not prepared to address the current challenges and future challenges. So that's why they limit, even though the disease or pests are prevalent, they somehow
Yes.
they put below the carpet. It is a big challenge for researchers, regulators, and policy, because there is a big gap. I think there is a big vacuum in there. I don't know how the larger fraternity will take up into the fact, at least for the smooth cultivation of the crop practices.
Very well said. So what we discussed, similar like Dr. Suresh mentioned, we had a small discussion group in between Thai Seed Trade Association and the DOA department. We think that we would like to encourage the university still to do the study, right? But in order for them to do the first report, we would like to kind of like create a better engagement or communication. Like for example, maybe include the government side or the seed sector side and kind of understand together, because somehow the case turned out that when you do the genome sequence of the pest, actually is the difference is in the level of the species, but it's got reported differently. Is very another complication that we still need to also deal with, exactly similar to what Dr. Suresh helped to add on this point. And
Maybe
so,
one more point. One more
Can we,
point.
Suresh, can we leave it to the end?
yes, we can leave to the end, but thank you, Dr. Tiku.
Let us do the
And
discussion at the end.
Yes, I like that. Thanks, Dr. Tiku. So lack of the transparency on the regulations. When they say lack of transparency, does not mean that the government doesn't want to be open to you, but somehow they are not aware that the level of the information that has been communicated out to the country or even to the trading partners that is not clear, or is leave the room for some misinterpretation, for example. And that's how we call lack of transparency on the regulations. And even most of the countries, they publish their law or regulations in their own language, but thank God now we have AI, so they can change or translate into English easily. And non-harmonized requirement between countries like seed law, variety registration, and seed movement, which I already emphasized. And now, you know what, after COVID-19, we have seen that the world is moving into restrictive regulatory trend rather than open free trade. And we really need to understand also why the government policy maker makes such a trend like that. Of course, they would like to sustain the food security in the country. However, there are also long-term consequence of the country as well. If they move the policy toward a restrictive approach of the country. And this is also a job of everyone. Okay, it's not only the indeed, is everyone has a role to play in this advocacy for the country. And long lead time to proceed on the documentation for regulatory compliance, which affect market introduction lead time and accessibility of seeds to by farmers. And I would say that this part of the thing is so critical that I would say that somehow we can see that the company itself also try to keep the business. So somehow it's very hard for them to, you know, wait also with the long lead time, because it's already a loss also eventually to the farmers. And why this happened, most of the cases is due to the capacity of the government to support the private sector. And still this area, I think, is still, we need to work a lot more from the private sector side. How can we support in terms of the capacity, or even advocate the government to play a role like an auditor, rather than, you know, being like also technicians and also regulators, and then that create an issue on the long lead time. And communication between regulators and private sector, I already mentioned so many times. And last but not the least at all is enforcement of the law against, I would say, in illegal seed practices. Everyone know that this issue hurt every one of us, and especially the farmers who have no clue. The farmers would not, their job is not to understand this complexity, right? Their job is just to worry so much on their productivity and their agronomic practice that inputs on their financial situation, right? To cope with everything that they need to produce their product, right? So it is the main job, I would say, is with the government, yes, and also with the private sector, to ensure that we have a good process to protect the illegal seed practices. And we just would like to ask the government to help us to make sure that the law can be enforced, so that the people who want to do bad, at least they are banned, you know, forever or something like that. But it's not the case nowadays. It's very hard for you to, for the company that invest time and also the skillful staff into producing a good intellectual property, or even carry a good innovative of the solutions for the seeds, to stand still when it's come to this case. Such a case happen into the company. It's very hard for the company to go into the, you know, a right enforcement or good enforcement of the law as a tool to, at least, for example, PBP can be the tool. But if you look into the enforcements of the PBP law, we still need a good talk with the policymaker around this area as well. All right. So you know the key challenges, and well, maybe you think, oh, well, if I have an idea, I think that in my region or in my country, we need to reform like this. We want to advocate like this. Somehow you can do also in the country, right? But now we learn a lot along, I mean, even from COVID-19. After that, there's so many advocacy programs going on, and we learn the best practice is that we need to send the same voice. We need to at least go into the uniform approach. Most of the region, I'm not talking about harmonization, because harmonization is such a big word, and I don't think that is realistic enough to make sure that everyone would go or do the same things, right? Each country has their own problem to solve, but at least in the concept of the statement, we should align, right? So these are the organizations, start from the International Seed Federation. So International Seed Federation, they also has created very good tool, good resource for the public-private sector, public-private partnership, and also good educational materials for the national seed associations, and also for people like us in the, you know, breeders, or even people who are not in seed sector. So they are trying to build the communication much easier for people who are not even in the seed sector to really understand the subject matters around seed policy. Another